Welcome to Swiss Echoes, episode 9. Today I'm joined by SeLRa, manager of the March Marmots, and he will tell us about the March Marmots today. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad as well. So, can you give us a small introduction of the March Marmots, please? Only a few words. We will talk about them a lot today, but let's start
Mhm.
with an introduction.
Yeah, small introduction. Well, the March Marmots are an esports club that was founded in 2018. And we have a really strong Overwatch team, which most of you guys out there will probably know already. And we also have quite some other teams which you probably didn't know yet. For example, Rainbow Six, or even other games like Hearthstone.
Okay, thank you. So at the start, I would like to talk about the Overwatch team because, like you mentioned,
Hmm.
it's a team everyone knows. It's
Yeah.
a really good team. It won the last two SESL seasons and also had a lot of good results before. So how was this insane Overwatch team even founded?
That's funded mostly by our president, Milky Cakes, which sponsors some things for them. For example, I think coaching, some other stuff. And yeah, then also, of course, they train regularly with their coach. They have coaching sessions, scrims, and that's how they manage to get better and better. Like in the last few years, they were most of the time second place behind Silent Gaming, which just dominated the whole scene for, well, probably since the start of Overwatch. Well, they were SPG first and then they switched to Silent. And then there was March Marmots, which came in with also some foreign players, but of course, because of the rules and all, we had also Swiss players in there. And yeah, that's more or less how the team grew because the core stayed the same over the seasons. Then they got better and better, managed to play second a lot, like in SESL seasons in the Pre-Fire League when it was still called Pre-Fire League.
Mhm.
The Swiss Gaming channels challenge, not channel. Sorry. Um, and yeah, now in the last year and the last two seasons of the SESL, they stepped up. They beat Silent Gaming, and yeah, now they're considered as the best Overwatch team in Switzerland. That's more or less how the whole story happened there.
But how were they founded? Or no, not founded, but where were the players found rather? How
Where
did
were the
you?
players found? Some of the players, for example, one of the players that we actually somewhat found out that he had a lot of talent was Sir Gibson back then. He was back then a really young player, which was discovered by Checkmated, I guess, who was still in charge of the early March Marmots roster in Overwatch, who found him and said, "Hey, this guy's talented." And then we trained with him. He got better and better. Of course, he then joined some other teams too, like Mind Sanity or Silent Gaming. And now he's back for the next season with the March Marmots, so we're happy about that. And then, of course, there are some other players like Kiam and Leolor, which are good friends. And, well, you know that probably when you follow them on Twitter. They have some really cool Twitter interactions there, especially Leolor's Kia memes, best memes you'll see in the internet. And yeah, they're good friends. They stick together. They also have a lot of skill. Of course, Kiam is also a streamer. He's our support player who does educational streams in German. So yeah, that's I think that's how they found him. He was already part in the organization when I joined March Marmots with the merger of Celestial Esports and March Marmots. So yeah, and the rest of the players were, I think, mostly found when an old member had to leave for some reasons because they didn't like the game anymore or left for other organizations or whatever. So then there were, of course, tryouts with members who wanted to try out for us, and then the main team handled these like for themselves with the team captain, which is Kiam at the moment. He's doing a great job. So yeah, that's more or less our players and how the team was built up.
Okay, thank you. So the March Marmots compete not only in Overwatch, but in total in
Hmm.
10 different games. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
insane. Are there any other games in the planning now? Like CSGO or League of Legends, for example?
Mhm. We had a Counter Strike team just a few months ago, which unfortunately left us.
Hmm.
But then there also was a League of Legends team way back. We never really had an like top-notch League of Legends team. We had
Mhm,
a rather strong German team once that competed in the Prime League. That was when it was
mhm,
funded in Division 3.2, I guess.
mhm,
But yeah, they also left too. And so for now, we don't have Counter Strike or League of Legends. But that's not really a huge problem for us since we already have many other games. For example, now Valorant, which we had probably one of the most ambitious projects we currently have next to the main team. We even set up a whole Discord server to just do the tryout things and review applications and make some interviews with the applicants to see if they're really suited for a team like the one we want to build up. And I think we did a really good job there. Already placed fifth at the Manabar online tournament.
mhm.
Then,
Nice.
of course, we also have a rather strong Call of Duty team, which you
Oh,
might
really?
have heard about if you follow our Twitter. They do uh, compete in various online tournaments, which happened quite a lot in the last few months and weeks. For example, the eParadise tournaments, which were hosted, or even a 5v5 Cup with lots of different teams from different countries. So yeah, these are probably some of our strongest teams right now. And then, of course, also what was originally the funding game for March Marmots, or as it was called back then, March Esports, was Hearthstone, in which we have some strong players. For example, Schniggy managed to place second at the last Switzerland,
Mhm.
but then unfortunately failed to get into the SCSL unfortunately. But hey, our other two players, our President Milky Cakes and Kokeshi, were able to get into SCSL this last season. So yeah, these are, I think, our strongest games. And in the rest, we do have some players, of course, but yeah, they're probably not the best in Switzerland, but that's also not necessarily our goal. We know, well, if you look at Swiss esports scene, there are some teams like My Insanity, which have these insanely strong teams,
Yes.
but they also give them a lot of money, for
Resources.
example,
Yeah.
resources, of
Mhm.
course. And we don't really have these resources since we also do not have a sponsor currently. So
Yet.
we are
Not
more,
yet.
yeah, not yet. So we're also focusing, and we will always want to focus on community building. We have a Discord server with over 400 members on it. So yeah, most of them are, of course, community members, not uh, members from our teams and stuff. But we also have some teams, like we have next to our Overwatch main team, we have three other teams. One of them is a team that was specifically founded for gold and platinum players to give them a
Oh well.
basis so that they can start their competitive journey. And we also, since few weeks, have a Rainbow Six Academy team next to our main team. So yeah, we want to build something for everyone, so that we're not something like, well, FC Basel, for example, in football, who just wants to be the best in
Mhm.
Switzerland. So we want to be there for like everyone in the esports scene and give everyone a community where they can feel safe.
Okay. So I want to go back to Valorant real quick because, like you
Hmm.
said, I think you focus a bit on it, but will it be the one of the main focus points of the March Marmots because it shares similarities with Overwatch, so it will share a fan base. Will it be your maybe even second biggest project, except apart from Overwatch?
Um, Maybe it could develop to the second biggest project. I mean, already the as I said, the whole scouting process was already rather not expensive but time consuming, with
Hmm.
setting up a Discord server and the Discord bot which reviewed applicants, and then we also talk with every applicant. Always the team captain now, which is also a member of our management, Frost, and I and some other members talked with the applicants, so that we really got some players that really fit together. And yeah, it worked out. And yeah, I think it could get our second highest priority. Also because they are also planning some other cool things like a boot camp. They're sharing a
Oh
lot of
wow.
strategies
Hmm.
with each other and training them. So I think they have a really good future to look forward to. So yeah, at the current moment, I think this is the team that will probably get the second. or like the second strongest part of our organization.
Okay, super. So let's see what they can do. Next, I
Mhm.
would like to talk about the structure because you already mentioned a boot camp now, but also coaching, reviewing. On your website, it is also stated that you focus a lot on young talent. So is the March Marmots the org to start your esports career in Switzerland?
You could say so. Well, as long as we have some sort of capacity to handle it, of
Yeah, of course.
course. No organization can handle like 200 people or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah, how are we structured? Well, at the top there's like the president and the management, which do some management specific things. For example, organization of jerseys, or other stuff that has to be handled, sponsoring, things regarding the Discord channel, or also websites and social media. Then we also have some staff personnel, for example, for the graphics for Twitter or um,
No
Instagram
problem.
and whatever.
Mhm.
And then, of course, website. And then there are the different teams. Each team has a team captain, and we also have per game, we also have a so-called well, you could say I don't really know
A coach, a
the term for
leader.
English, but it's like a Bereichsleiter or a like game leader. Call it
Hmm.
a game leader that is overlooking all the games to see
Aha,
is everyone there, and also to handle some things. So if a problem comes up in a team or between two teams, that they can first talk with the game leader so that they can resolve the problem first, and that we as the management can only have to do something when it's really urgent so that they can handle their problems first itself.
mhm. Um, so you mentioned on your website, it is also mentioned that you have a very good infrastructure to improve in, and this includes individual
Mhm.
training sessions, help of coaches, video reviews. That's a lot of stuff. So is that something that every team has, or?
Yeah, that's something almost every team does.
Mhm,
Mostly the teams handle themselves quite good.
mhm,
Most of them are, well, most of them also have the coaches, as I mentioned, the main team, of course, and then most of our other Overwatch teams have their coaches as well. For Rainbow Six, I'm not sure right now if they have coaches. It also depends if a team really wants a coach or if they need a coach.
mhm.
For example, our Valorant team now doesn't also only have a like a real like a coach for strategies and stuff, but also has a sports psychologist as a
Oh
coach.
wow.
Yeah, to keep their spirits high and to make them feel comfortable during the whole competition. And yeah, of course, everything is kind of based on a voluntary basis. So if a team doesn't want a coach for whatever reason, then they don't have to get one, of course. And yeah, so if a team wants a coach, and maybe if they have problems finding a coach or something, then of course we help them to find the coach that suits them best, or to search for new players when they are when a player left for some reason. Also with social media announcements and some other help, if they need someone of the management, then we go to them, we talk with them, and see if we can resolve problems.
Okay, so you offer a lot to your teams and your players, especially the part with the sport psychologist. Sounds insane to me.
Yeah,
So is
yeah,
is
but
the
that's also,
ah yeah,
I'm
go
sorry,
on. No, go
that's
on.
also port that that's a friend of the Valorant team, so it's I think it's, yeah, almost for free there when
Mhm.
you have friends and some other people that do it for free, and because they have fun with it, also because we don't have any financial or not big financial resources, we are kind of limited there, but we try our best to help all our teams and players.
Yeah, like it's insane what you offer, and is there even more you offer, especially to now young talents?
Mhm.
Is there anything
Well,
more?
for the young talents, there is, of course, they can always ask the other players, which are a bit more experienced, for advice. For example, some of our Overwatch teams, like the teams like Genesis or Oblivion, which we have or had, they ask the main team sometimes, or main team members, if they can coach them or if they can give them tips or review them. And their main team is, yeah, most of the time, if they have the time, they will gladly do it. For example, our DPS player Jaden coached our March Marmots Genesis team for
Mhm.
some time. Genesis unfortunately left us a few weeks ago, but yeah, our older players are trying to help the younger and newer players to help them get better at their game.
Yeah, that sounds like a really big perk if you are a March Marmot Academy player, if you can call it that. Like, what I wanted to ask as well, was there a case of a player in an academy team coming to the first team yet? Has that happened? Maybe
um,
in the Overwatch main team? Is there somewhere
well,
else?
we don't really, or we never really had like an academy team in Overwatch. We just had like teams. That's mostly because the original March Marmots before the great merger with Celestial Esports
Hmm.
only had like the March Marmots main team and no other Overwatch team. And then there was Celestial Esports who brought in, I think, four more Overwatch teams at the time. And these were all teams ranging between Platinum and Diamond and a few Masters players.
Hmm.
And maybe one or two Grandmaster players which played with other Master players together. And yeah, but I think none of them really made it into the March Marmots main team so far. But as I said, there was Sir Gibson, who was an early member of March Marmots, who got better and better.
Hmm.
And right now in Valorant, we are planning to build up an academy team for Valorant, and we already have one member there, which is rather a young player. And he also already, if a player is missing for practice sessions in the main team of our now Valorant main team, he will replace them,
Hmm.
and he will also be coached by our team captain of the Valorant team and by his older brother, which is also in our organization. So we try to help him too. Of course, we also have to say that school or work and this stuff matters first, but we
Okay.
also want the young people especially to help them grow their esports knowledge and their live esports balance.
Yeah, that sounds really great. So, if I'm a young Swiss talented player with the focus on talented, could you give me a quick marketing pitch or and try to convince me why I should join you in any game you can decide
Oh, why
which?
you should join March Marmots? We have a really friendly atmosphere at March Marmots,
Mhm.
or yeah, we always try to solve problems as soon as they arise. Um, we have yeah, we are always together at LAN parties and other offline events. For example, on the website, you can see our main team playing the Overwatch tournament in Switzerland at on two different pictures. On the first picture where they were in game, and in the second picture, you also see the main team in game, but also with all the other March Marmots in the background, sitting on chairs or standing there, watching them and cheering them on for their grand final game, which they played at the time against Monty Chabla Esports. So we always support each other, and yeah, that's probably the biggest selling point for March Marmots, that we try to support each other, that we will be friendly with each other. Yeah.
So that's something that makes the March Marmots unique, that they are a very supportive community, and that's the main reason why we should support them. Or is there anything else that's pretty unique to them?
Something that's unique to March Marmots compared to other organizations, um, probably maybe the size of March Marmots, because we have I think just a little less than 80 members
Hmm.
in March Marmots, so it's a rather big community, and we do have a rather big Discord server, as I already said, with I think over 400 people on there. And we are also planning something bigger for the end of June and upcoming for community members, so also for fans and not just for our players. More is coming soon about this project, which will kickstart probably around the time with our 2 year anniversary, which will be on the 30th of June. So, yeah, that's probably also a point to consider about March Marmots, that we are trying to be there for community and that we want to support everyone a bit and not just our top teams.
Okay, so now I know why I should support them, but where can I? Is there any big tournaments any big tournament that's coming up or a league in which the March Marmots are competing in?
Mhm. So to see our players play, you mostly can watch the SDSL, mostly either in Overwatch or sometimes if there's a stream in Rainbow Six or Hearthstone. These are the games that we are in the Swiss Esports League. Then right now there's also I think a German league going on in Rainbow Six called the Intentions League, which
Mhm.
also streams I think all the games. And our Rainbow Six team is playing there too, so you can watch them there. And of course, also the offline events. If there's any offline tournaments aren't streamed for some reason, I don't know. Maybe they just lack the casters or whatever. Yeah. So if there is a stream, of course, events in Arbon in August, I think, and then of course Switzerland again, which will probably held at least hold the Valorant tournament. I really hope they will keep Overwatch because we also have a really strong team,
Mhm.
even though the game is not in a well, let's say great state at the moment. I really hope that Overwatch doesn't die in Switzerland. So these are probably where you can watch most of us, and well, also of course our personal streaming and streaming. As I mentioned, Kiam has a rather big stream. He's the support player of our Overwatch main team. I do stream from time to time a bit, and most of our, or many of our other members have a Discord channel, sorry, Twitch channel, and do stream from time to time.
So, what are the goals for 2020 for the March Marmots?
Okay, goals for 2020 is probably to yeah, for the teams, of course, compete in the tournaments that are still coming up, especially the offline tournaments as soon as they're here, probably in midsummer and summer, and of course autumn, which are probably the time zones where the most tournaments happen. To get good placements there, improve until then, especially Valorant and Overwatch. And for the organization as a whole, as I said, we are trying to get to build up a new project there, which we will announce soon. And of course, we're now trying also to get a sponsor. I'm not sure if 2020 will be the year March Marmots will get a sponsor because, yeah, Corona and
Mhm.
all the other stuff hurting a lot of businesses. So many businesses don't really have the money to support little esports orgs like March Marmots or other esports organizations. Um, yeah, and maybe another thing that we want to bring out is merchandise, so
Mhm.
that fans can buy maybe jerseys or some custom T-shirts. That's also something that we dream of doing, and we also want to do that. So we're working on this one.
Okay, so is there anything you want to say at the end?
What to say at the end? Okay. Uh, at, at first, for all the followers or people watching right now, thanks for tuning in, for listening to me talk about the March Marmots organization. I hope I can see you on the Discord channel soon, and that you will cheer for us in the next few tournaments.
Okay, great. So, thank you for being here and giving us some
Mhm.
big insight on the March Marmots. To the viewers, support them on Twitter and in the tournaments he mentioned. And if you want to watch more great esports content, then don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow my Twitter. And yeah, thank you for watching and see you next time.